Hey, do you ever wonder what life really is? I'm Lena. This is Insta Minutes. We are in episode 34. This week, finishing up the book of Deuteronomy in the story of God, a story of hope. Our hope is in the Lord who gave everything for us. And so I want to kind of stop here for a pit stop in Deuteronomy chapter 30. And remember, this is a book where Moses is summarizing the story of God and the people of Israel and all that has happened to them in 40 years of the wilderness. And in 40 days after the speech, he's going to die. Joshua's going to take the people into the promised land. And so here's a generation rising up who has not really done this kind of war. They've been sort of walking around wondering, like when will they get there? And now they're on the verge of getting there. And then here's a sort of a summary about life and death. I love these verses. For this commandment in verse 11 of chapter 30 of Deuteronomy, for this commandment that I command you today is not too hard for you, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will ascend to heaven for us and bring it to us that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, who will go over the sea for us and bring it to us that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart so that you can do it. See, I have set before you today life and good, death and evil, if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God that I command you today, by loving the Lord your God, by walking in his ways and by keeping his commandments and his statutes and his rules. Then you shall live and multiply, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land that you are entering. But if your heart turns away and you will not hear, he goes, I declare to you today that you will surely perish. I call heaven and earth, verse 19, to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore, this is God saying, therefore, choose life. Choose life, that you and your offspring may live. It is God's heart to see everybody saved and blessed. I really believe that. I believe this book shows that. And though he chose the people of Israel, they were an example. And we see in the story of the Old Testament, you're going to see as we get into it, that there were many junctions where, in fact, when they left Egypt, many of the Egyptians left with them. Later, we see that there were people who popped up that were from back there. In fact, Caleb, I believe, was one of those people who wasn't originally from that nation of Israel, but joined them. And so you see that the invitation to follow God was open to all, but the condition was to believe who he says he is and to put your trust in who and how he has declared salvation to be. That continues to be the problem today. We're all born sinners, but God has given us salvation through Jesus Christ. The invitation is open to everyone, and God's plea with us every day is choose life. Choose life, choose life. Maybe you are a Christian, and maybe for you, God just wants you again now in your choices, in your dating choices, in your marriage choices, in the way that you bring up your children. Choose life, speak life, live life, say things that are in concordance with God's word, reflect his joy, love him, and love others. That's all it boils down to be. Hey, I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Have an awesome day.